Hello and welcome back. We are continuing on with Fourth Wing because I barely made a dint in the book in my last. Oh, sorry, my chain is everywhere. In my last video, we're doing another grind for the museum today. So let's see how much, because now I'm getting to the point where I've not reread it and it's gonna get very blurry. So let's go. So we left off. She's starting the sparring. So basically, in a nutshell, she's been raised to be a scribe. Scribes recount history in this kingdom of Nevers. There was a rebellion against Nevers by the Turindor people, and they all got executed. The children had to watch their parents get executed, and the children of the rebellion leaders were forced to enter the Riders Quadrant. And the Riders Quadrant is they ride dragons and they go into battle and they can die in school and it's fine. They enter the school when they're 20. Violet is being forced to go into it. Her mum is a general of Nevers and she took part in the executions, even though she didn't agree with it. So basically her mum killed Xaden's dad, but Xaden's dad killed Violet's brother in the war or whatever. And yeah, so Violet is starting at the school. She's encountered Xaden. She's been told to avoid him, and Xaden told a group that it was like, leave her alone, she's mine. But a lot of people are gunning for her because she's very weak. She has a condition where her bones break easily and she dislocates easily. So she's an easy target. And they're starting sparring. But Violet has clocked on from a book left from her brother that she can figure out who she's fighting before the sparring sessions begin. And she's starting to collect herbs and she volunteers to do breakfast duty so she can put these herbs in people's food that she's going to fight. So the first guy, she manages to get him all like blurry-eyed and queasy, and she does this a few times. Until one day she does it and they say, oh, he's actually passed out, he can't do it today. So she's given the herbs a bit too early and he's passed out. So who steps in but Xaden Rayson? So Xaden is the leader of her wing. So there's 4 wings which then have sections which then have squads within them. And she's in a first year squad. Well, she's in like one of the squads. And Xaden's like, I'll step in. And they start fighting. And so the whole thing with sparring is like you get if you can retrieve their daggers, you earn it. And then that's like you're winning from the fight. And he's like almost like expecting every move. He's like, da-da-da-da-da, get this. He's got her pinned on the floor by the end. And he's like, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. He's just like teasing her really. And he was like, you'll have to learn to fight without actually poisoning people. So he knew that she was poisoning people. They have a history lesson about dragons, and there's this black dragon that's not mated. So dragons choose their riders and then channel a power through these riders. Dragons can only talk to each other. They don't just talk to humans. The only humans they talk to is the ones they bond with. So learning about, and there's this black one that's like the most powerful, and it's not mated with anyone in 100 years. Bonded with anyone, not mated. But his mate ends up being Xaden's dragon called Scale, and she's a blue dragon. She's like, right, be fair, just kills people, whatever. Anyway, there's a few lessons. She gets friendly, I can't remember how or what exactly, but there's a rebellion kid who's in first year called Liam Maori. And he's really lovely, really sweet, and he becomes friends with Violet. Disregard, never mind that her mum like led the thing against the rebellion. God. And they're all working towards this thing called threshing. Threshing is when the dragons choose the rider, but you're not guaranteed to get a dragon. You also may be killed by a dragon if they deem you weak or just think like, ugh, go to space, whatever. So she's in threshing, and she notices a little, like a baby golden dragon, and she's like, what the hell? Who's that? And she sees Jack Barlow. So Jack Barlow's like this horrible boy who just wants to kill Violet for no reason, is just really ruthless, and he's just like targeted for Violet. And he's with this other guy and he's like, let's kill this gold one. Anyway, or like taunting it or something, because he's trying to find the black one. So he's like, let's kill this for no reason at all. So Violet like steps in, she's like, I don't think you're gonna touch this dragon. And he's like, ends up that so then she saves the dragon, and then the dragon starts talking to her, which means she's mated with this baby golden dragon. And then I don't really know I can't remember the connection, but then 10 flies in and he's like, yo, you saved my gal. It's not his child or anything. I think maybe he just has her and takes her under his wing. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to bond you too. So from what we know, the first time in history, this girl, Violet's own girl, has bonded 2 dragons. The baby one and also this massive one, the black one that no one's bonded with for 100 years. So it's crazy. So then they all go into the field after threshing, and Dane's like, oh my god, you survived, amazing, and he kisses her. And Dane is, so if you've not watched the last video, is her childhood friend. She grew up with him, she's always had a crush on him, and she hadn't seen him for a year because he's a year older, so he's already been in the war college a year longer than her. And she's come back but at every turn he's like, we'll get you to the scribe quadrant, you're too weak, you're not going to survive this. And it's like getting low-key very annoying. It's like, girl, do you even like believe in me? Like, I can't dream of it. But he's just like pushing it. It's really annoying. So when he kisses her, it's like, it's everything she wanted, but she's realised it's like mid as hell. She's like, oh, actually I don't like this. And it's a bit awkward and weird. So anyway, now they have dragons, and also Sawyer, who I mentioned in the last video, who has already been there a year before but didn't get bonded to a dragon. He gets to bond a dragon. So all her friends, Riddick, Rhiannon, Liam, and Sawyer have all bonded a dragon, but Jack Bauer has also bonded a dragon, which is bad, so he's remaining. It turns out that because Sgael is mated with Ten, so Ten is Violet's dragon, and Sgael is Xaden's dragon. And because of this bond, because you can talk to like the dragon, this bond. So also, I completely forgot the whole lore point is that dragons will be like deeply hurt if their human dies, but they'll survive. Humans, if their dragon dies, the human will die. So now they are linked because, for example, if Violet, and also like Ten and Sgael are like so deeply bonded that if one of them dies, like it's over or something like that, I don't know. So basically, if Violet dies, or if Ten dies, if Ten dies, for example, Violet would die, and if Sgael dies, Xaden would die. But if Sgael dies, Ten would die, so Violet would die. It's like they're all linked now. And also, because the dragons can talk to each other, now there's some weird link between Xaden and Violet, and they can talk to each other in their mind as well. So he's just like kind of teasing her and saying all this stuff, whatever. And she's like, oh, he's so handsome, I hate him. Why does he have to be so attractive when I hate him? It's so frustrating, blah, blah, blah. So then after threshing, there's a thing called the gauntlet where they have to make up this wall thing and they have to prove their worth. And that's like the final exam for the year or something like that. There's also so many characters and things happening, but I can't remember. And they're getting like war lessons, but she's noticing, she's like, there's a lot of attacks going on, but like, what are they? Whatever. And then she's awakes one night and she's like, oh god, what's all this tension? She's like, oh, I can feel it. It's like brooder. Basically, when Sgael and Ten are shagging, like getting it on, they feel it through the bond and they feel the emotion. So she goes outside to get some like fresh air because she's like heating up, and Xaden's out there and he's smoking like this like fantasy version of a joint, basically is what they describe. And he's like, it helps me out, it calms me down. And she's like, how do you get used to this? And he's like, oh, it's just something you gotta bear with. And he's like teasing her, and then she takes smoke of the giant, and then they're both high and just got all this like sexual energy from the dragons, and they end up kissing. He like pushes her against the wall. It's mad. Also, the tension lead up is so good in the book. I'm not doing it justice. It is not this sudden. There's definitely 5,000 things that happen that I'm forgetting about. And it's like, oh. Anyway, and then as the book goes on, I can't remember how she discovers it, but basically her signet is lightning wielding, which is like a really rare, really powerful one. And she can wield lightning, but it's very difficult for her to control. She can get burnt out, literally, like it heats her up, burns her out, using too much power. She has these like excruciating lessons where she's like learning to manage them. And then eventually, I can't remember the lead up at all, but her and Xaden shag, and it's great in the books. And she learns that when she finishes lightning thunders because their powers are like mixing as they're doing stuff, and then like and also this whole time they're talking each other's heads. It's crazy. And he uses like the shadows to black them out, and yeah, so whenever she finishes, lightning strikes. So everyone's like, oh, they're getting on. Anyway, gets to the end of the year, I'm definitely missing stuff. She's best pals with Liam. There's a lot of stuff with Liam, a lot of stuff with Rhiannon and all the group. Anyway, this group gets sent off as a final task. It's like, oh, we're going to send you to a post. A post is like where they camp for war and things, and you can like experience it. And then they realise this town's getting like attacked or something, and then they're like, whoa, they basically have to help. It's like weird. Like they were basically sent there to do this, but like not really. Also, she's learned. Oh my god, she's learned that Xaden's actually like there's an underground rebellion still happening, and she's like all conflicted about it, but like not really. I don't know. And then anyway, they go to this post, and then they're saving this town, and then there's these creatures flying, and they're like, what the fuck are they? Turns out her book. So I said in first video, her book about this myth of wyverns, they're real, and they have like these wizard type people, and they're called venin, and they can drain your energy and drain the earth, and they're like super bad and dangerous, and they're actually there attacking. So all these random attacks that were happening at the posts were actually these vern, and the government's been covering it up for some reason and blaming it on the rebellion people and these like other people who ride griffins, but they're actually not bad. Very confusing, I know. Makes more sense when you read. So anyway, they have to fight him. Liam ends up dying, and it's literally the most sad, horrible thing ever. But in an attempt to save him, and Dana, because she has two dragons, she's training with both of them. Obviously, she has a signet from 10, the lightning. She discovers a signet from Andana where she can stop time. So she stops time and saves someone, but she can't do it again for Liam, and Liam dies, and it's literally so heart-wrenchingly sad. And they realise how, I don't know if this is in the next book or the first book, but basically the way they knew that the rebellion was going on is that Dane, before they left, or like Summit, or a bit earlier on, touched Violet in like a loving way, and because his signet is when you touch someone, you see their recent memories, he was told to do so by his dad, who was like this war general guy who was suspicious. So Dane actually betrayed Violet and then reported this to his dad, and that's why, so like, they were basically sent to die, but they managed to survive, but they had to lie about it to come back because now it's like all weird, so they're like now undercover, I don't know. And basically she's like, they send her to Tyrrendor where Xaden's from. Oh my god, I have to be quick. To where Xaden's from to get healed, and like, who's gonna heal her? Who has a healing signet? But her brother Brennan, who never died. He faked his death to become a part of the rebellion. So her brother is alive. Xaden's dad never killed her brother. That was the most confusing thing. I'm so sorry. If you've read the books and you listen to that, you're like, what the fuck still as well. But yeah, there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.